It's that time of year again. When you start arranging pumpkins on the stoop, try out a new cranberry sauce recipe, and plan out a tablescape that'll outdo last year's. In other words, it's when you break out all your DIY holiday skills. And now, ADT is making it easy to DIY your home security too. Their systems aren't just simple to set up, they also fit within your budget. So get excited for your next project, because your peace of mind just went DIY. Visit ADT.com or call 1-800-ADT-ASAP. When every second counts, count on ADT.
Due to conduct that violated production rules, the ghost host was disqualified from Hello Uglies and will not appear in Hallmark Homos.
Welcome to Hello Uglies, a Dragula recap show for Titan Season 2, Episode 6, titled The Ghost Town. My name's Joe Batanz, and I am joined, as always, by the goddess of glitz, glamour, goth, gossip, and gore herself. Please say, from Bloody Podcast, please say, Hello Uglies, to Miss Laurian K. Rockenkamp. Hello, Laurian.
Hello.
You know what I just realized right now is, you remember last week, that stupid rug was talking to them?
Yeah.
And it was like, you've been saying Hello Uglies for 10 years. I go, I forgot that, because they don't really say it that much anymore. And so I was like, they'll do some variations. So I was like, they mentioned our show for like a half, not for very long, but just for like a little bit. I was like, they mentioned our show.
Sometimes I think that. Sometimes when they're like, we have a lot of people critiquing us that don't really know what they're talking about. I'm like, they're talking about
Laura,
us.
it might be, look, here's the deal. I'm gonna say this right. Oh my God, you scared me. I'm gonna say this right now. Drag Race, I'm sure there's some, and for Drag Race recap, we're one of the biggest shows out there. We're definitely if not the biggest it's not Willem in Alaska kind of show. Like there was a former contestant. And so I'm sure even in the past, because we were one of the first ones ever to cover Drag Race, especially consistently, people at World of Wonder have heard the show. I don't know if they listened consistently, but they've heard it. Okay. They know of it. What's so funny?
I don't know. It just cracks me up. Can you think about Swantula and Drag Water being like
100% they aware of the show? I'll tell you why. You're welcome to look up on your phone and prove me wrong. But when you do a search on Apple Podcasts for Dragula or Boulet Brothers or any of that, we're the only podcast dedicated to Dragula. There are some, but they don't even come up sometimes. Like, I don't even know if Meatball's still covering it. Like, there are some people who will talk about it on their show, but Hello Uglies is the only podcast that I can see that exists solely to cover Dragula. Oh, look again. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I block somebody or something like that.
Yeah, I wonder if that one drag queen and her friends are still doing something.
No, remember they quit and then they erased their show.
Oy vey.
So Dragula, Apple Podcasts. Our show on Apple Podcasts is above the Boulet Brothers. Right? Okay. Then I'll put in Hello Uglies. No. I'll put in Boulet Brothers. Hello Uglies, obviously ours would come up. Boulet Brothers. So obviously ours is the third one.
So for some reason I got ours, but then I got Dragula Brazil, Ghoul Friends.
Oh, I don't have that one.
But it was just one podcast from 2020.
Oh, they have one from 2020.
Yeah.
I have a show called Ghoul Talk, Dragula Titans Season 2, Episode 5. That's one. It's just one. Let me see.
Dragula Titans 2 preview.
Yeah, they have Drag Race recap.
I see a lot of shows that they do other things and they're covering Dragula.
Yeah, but ours is the only one. What I'm trying to say, the point of this is 100%. I'm not saying the Boulet Brothers listen now, but 100% they know about the show. 100% someone on the staff listens to this show. You know, it's the only podcast they talk about. We're the only podcast that talks about it every single week. Of course, they're going to be dying to hear what we have to say about it.
I don't know if they're dying. I think that, I don't know. I don't have that kind of self-confidence to think that they
don't. No,
they give
no,
a shit.
it has nothing to do with that. We're good. I'm not saying we're good.
No. I don't. I'm just saying in general, like that we're, you know.
So would you agree, Laurie, that 100% the Boulet Brothers know the podcast exists?
I mean, yeah, I'm probably sure they know, but I don't necessarily know that they know. They know that a podcast exists. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. If
I think for sure Dracmorda does not listen. We're always harder on Dracmorda. Swan gets off easy. So I think when Swan's by herself in the car, she'll listen.
Wouldn't it be funny if she's just like giggling?
Are you listening to that again?
She's just like, hey, I just like the camera. She's the commenter. She was the one who said, if you guys get rid of Ghost Host, we'll be able to, you'll be able to talk. Laurie and Joe will be able to talk more.
Yeah. So anyway, that's my opinion. Now, Laurie, I want to talk about a few other things.
Okay.
First, let's address what happened at the top of the show. Did you hear this part right here? Let me play it again.
Yeah, we had to get rid of the
Due
ghost
to
host.
conduct that violated production rules, the ghost host was disqualified from Hello Uglies and will not appear in Hallmark Homos.
Now, what I want to know, I don't know anything about this, even though I'm the executive producer and creator of the show. Why would the ghost host record his own announcement that
I don't
he's
know.
disqualified?
Do you think it's like he did it himself? You
Yeah, I
think
mean, he's self-disqualified.
He's self-disqualified.
And also, why is he not going to be in Hallmark Homo? What does it do with Hello Uglies?
Yeah, that's weird.
Do you know what he did?
Planning on doing a Hallmark? I've heard rumors.
Oh,
but,
you have?
Yeah, but I know that it's definitely illegal, so I don't think we can talk about it.
Oh, I happen to know. That's why I was wondering if you knew. Yeah, it is definitely illegal, and I don't think we can talk about it. I think you're right.
Yeah.
I don't think, but I will say this: the ghost host is not welcome at the reunion.
Yeah. No, not at all.
Yeah, but we wish the ghost host the best.
We do.
We do.
But we will never be working with them again.
No, 100% no. 100% no. All right, Laurie, the other thing too, speaking of the ghost host, I asked last week for people to give their comments, send in their thoughts, send in everything about what they thought about the ghost host. And I'm going to say this. It was actually 50-50.
Okay.
Right. About half the people were like, we love the ghost host. Please keep the ghost host. And half the people were like, we hate the ghost host. Okay. And so I'm just not going to do the ghost host anymore. I'm not going to hire him. I'm not going to use him anymore. He unfortunately, he got disqualified. So we can't use him anymore.
He can't use him. He got disqualified.
But he's gone. And so people must be, to people who don't like the ghost host must be rejoicing. But, what I am doing is I'm going to change the content a little bit. And it's really going to only affect people on the public feed. So the ghost host is gone. What I'm going to tell you right now is we have now created a new bonus episode that we're going to do every week called Dress to Kill, where Laurie and I will discuss the looks. Laurie and I already recorded the first episode of Dress to Kill. It's in the can. It's done.
It's done.
It's going to be a video podcast, and it's only going to be on Patreon. So we no longer will discuss the looks at all on here. And for those of you who are like, but I don't like the ghost host. The ghost host is not on Dress to Kill.
Tough shit.
Yeah, the ghost host is not on Dress to Kill. It's a video podcast. You'll get to see the look on the screen using the Instagram pics that the Boulets posted on their Instagram. And we will talk about the looks there. Separate thing. You have to be a paid subscriber to see the looks. And also, if you speaking of, so if you join Patreon at patreon.com/afterthoughtmedia, you'll get to see the looks. You'll get to see, you get the show early with no commercials. But remember, even if you join Patreon as a free member, you will get the show one day later than the than the Patreon feed with no commercials, and it's still earlier than the public feed. So go to patreon.com/afterthoughtmedia. You'll get the show a day early, and also, or you can use the app right there. All right, this week the monsters showcase a Western ghost look and perform a lip sync to "I'm Wicked" by Twin Temple. In the end, Abhora and Sigourney Beaver were named the winners of the challenge, while Blackberry and Cynthia Doll were put up for extermination. After being placed in coffins filled with snakes, we're left on a cliffhanger as to who was... Wait, hold on. We got to rewrite the sentence right here. After Blackberry and Cynthia Doll were placed in coffins filled with snakes, I don't like this sentence at all. Let me just say in my own words. Blackberry and Cynthia Doll on the extermination. They're placed in coffins filled with snakes, but we don't find out who goes home. We'll find out next episode.
Okay.
Later, we find out Jade Jolie is disqualified for breaking production rules. Priscilla Chambers and Disasterina face off in the Hellbound showdown, with Priscilla Chambers coming out victorious and Disasterina returning to hell. Laurian K. Roggenkamp, did the right monsters win the challenge, and were the right were the right ghouls put on the chopping block?
I'm going to do reverse. I think that the right ghouls were put on the chopping block.
Mm-hmm.
I do think Cynthia and Blackberry probably had the worst outfits of the night, and also their stories of their costumes also just didn't make sense.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, I think there should have been a third person, and Jaharia should have gone up for elimination as well. Because if we're getting rid of queens 2 by 2, then maybe we should do a three-peat. Just really cut some people out. Yeah, I felt like those were the worst, because those also had the most technical problem. I mean, Blackberry had so many technical problems with her outfit. Yeah. As far as who won, I'm glad those two won, but I really like JK's outfit. So I kind of wish that she would have won again, but I think it's fun, great that they both won. I don't necessarily know how I like the double win. I don't really feel like they should have just given it to Abhora. Because, I mean...
I think I feel you on that. I think I would have just given it to Abhora. I see why they gave it to Sigourney, but I would have just given it to Abhora. And I agree with who's in the chopping block. My guess, who do you think is going to go home? I think it's going to be Blackberry, right?
I don't know. Well, here's the thing. I think Blackberry, because her outfit had so many technical issues.
Mm-hmm.
But they do like Blackberry. But I will also say that Cynthia seems to be helping the producers a lot on the show.
Yeah.
So they might want to keep her around. But they did critique a lot of her outfit and how it was not very good. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, to be honest with you, I think it's who do they think would make better television? I don't necessarily know if either of them, would be the best to keep for good television. So
yeah. All right. Well, on that note,
I could see them keeping both too.
Oh, really? No.
Yeah.
I think 100%. I think it's Blackberry. I'd be very surprised if it was Cynthia Doll, if I'm being honest with you. I think Blackberry, it's her time.
Also, Blackberry talked about how we'll get to it. Never mind.
All right. Why don't we do this? Why don't we take a break? And when we come back, we are going to talk about the rest of the episode. We'll be back right after. We're also going to learn our big takeaways. We'll be back right after this.
Hallo daar, homoseksuelen. Ik ben Joost van der Leeuwen, president en oprichter van de Drag Podcast Federatie.
No.
Wat? We zijn terug en beter dan ooit met nog meer updates uit de wereld van drag content. Wist je dat podcast superster Laurie Roinkamp net is verhuisd? Nee, ik heb het niet over meer dan 15 stappen per dag lopen. Ik heb het over het veranderen van de plek waar ze woont. Laurie, we proberen gewoon deze hilarische advertentie voor de Drag Podcast Federatie te maken.
You're trying to make fun of me and talk about how I'm fat and I don't move around a lot. And
Laurie, dit is een ingebouwde advertentie die vooraf is opgenomen.
It is not. How do you know to speak to me?
Luister hiernaar. De avond voordat ze uit haar appartement verhuisde, verstopte Laurie het toilet. Zij en Star hebben de hele nacht geprobeerd het toilet te ontstoppen.
I clogged the toilet multiple times that week, so it wasn't just that night. So, FYI.
Heb je die nacht het toilet verstopt?
No, actually it was the night before we moved.
Dat is wat ik zeg. De avond voordat ze uit haar appartement vertrok, verstopte ze het toilet. Zijn er onwaarheden daar?
No, I guess not.
Toen, de eerste nacht dat ze in haar nieuwe appartement trok, en je gaat dit niet geloven, verstopte ze het toilet in haar gloednieuwe appartement. Is dat waar?
Yes, fine, it's true.
Toen, nadat ze in haar nieuwe woning was ingetrokken, vroeg Laurie aan Joe om in haar appartement te blijven totdat de monteur voor haar wasmachine en droger zou komen. Maar Laurie vergat Joe te vertellen dat Star thuis zou blijven. En Joe reed helemaal naar het appartement om erachter te komen dat hij niet nodig was.
That's not true. Joe did not drive all the way down. He was there. I texted him in like the morning, like 8:30, 9 o'clock a.m. He didn't even have to be there till like 2. So there's no way he was already driving there.
Ik ben verrast dat je Nederlands kunt spreken. Er gebeurt altijd veel in de wereld van Drag Podcast. Dus zorg ervoor dat je je vandaag nog aansluit bij de Drag Podcast Federatie om op de hoogte te blijven van al het laatste nieuws. Voel je vrij om de Drag Podcast Federatie te bellen met tips op...
That's my phone number.
The time of my life. I never felt this way before.
From building timelines to assigning the right people and even spotting risks across dozens of projects, Monday Sidekick knows your business, thinks ahead, and takes action. One click on the star and consider it done.
And I owe it all to you.
Try Monday Sidekick. AI you'll love to use on Monday.com.
DSW, Designer Shoe Warehouse, is the one-stop shop for all your footwear needs. With sneakers, boots, and everything in between, for every style, mood, and occasion, you'll definitely find shoes that get you at prices that get your budget. DSW has what you need, but more importantly, they have what you didn't even know you wanted. You never know what you'll find at DSW. Find the shoes that get you at prices that get your budget at DSW stores or DSW.com.
Hi, I'm here to pick up my son Milo. There's no Milo here.
Who picked up my son from school?
Streaming only on Peacock.
I'm gonna need the name of everyone that could have a connection.
You don't understand. It was just the 5 of us.
So this was all planned.
What are you gonna do? I will do whatever it takes to get my son back.
I honestly didn't see this coming. These nice people killing each other.
All Her Fault. A new series streaming now only on Peacock.
And we are back. After the dub... Oh, no. Laurie, what was your big takeaway from this episode?
My big takeaway is you look a lot like the Joost van der Leeuwen from the...
I don't know what you're talking about. During the break, I go to the bathroom, I get some water, I check my text messages, make some phone calls. I don't know what you're talking about.
My big takeaway from this is I feel like... I don't know. I actually feel kind of excited because I feel like we're still going to see some people try big things, but maybe not succeed. Or try big things and then succeed, and it turns out great. So I feel kind of excited about. Like I was kind of sad last episode when Priscilla and Disasterina left, because I was like, oh, Priscilla kind of brings a lot of humor to this episode. Mm-hmm. So I was worried how it was going to be. I really wish they would stop with the whole alliance bullcrap. Like, I just wish they would. That it ate up so much time, and I just was like, and even Eva was like, no, who cares? Like at one point she goes, yeah, all that matters is the judges, and I was like, yeah, then why are you even doing any of this? So.
It really is one of the most infuriating parts of this show is this whole alliance bullshit, this whole thing where, that they're in an alliance, Because and even somebody comments, is it Eva? Somebody says, I don't know what the big deal is. We don't even have control over this.
That's Eva.
Yeah. And I think you just said it. And somebody pointed out online that I don't know if this is against what Eva said or in agreement with Eva said. I'm going off on a tangent here because it's not really what we're talking about. But when they're talking about track record,
yeah,
they're like, because someone says, "Oh, I think like it's always track records or something." And someone said like the both times that Eva went home, she had the better track record.
Well, that's why she made that huge speech at the end that was like, in the history of Dragula, track record, they don't give a fuck about track record. And I think it's because, she had a good track record when they went home. But, I mean, I don't think anybody truly cares about track record. I just think it ends up falling when in the beginning, where the people who aren't doing the best, get eliminated. But then when you get down to like the middle group, it's usually who do you want to keep on the show?
I think what it is as human beings, we like to feel that we have control of our environment and that there are a set of rules that you can live by. And if you live by those rules, then everything's very fair and just. Honestly, I think it's my dad's relationship with the Catholic Church. My dad, I don't think is very like, I have to be a good person. It's, he knows when to stand up and kneel and sing the songs and say the prayers at the right time. And if he does that, then he'll get into heaven, Yeah. And I think people like to have this degree of order. And so I think it's frightening or anxiety inducing to think that your fate is in the hands of the capricious whim of these two random drag queens.
Yeah. Who just don't have any kind of, they kind of just go with their gut and they don't have any.
And I think there are a lot more factors in play. And honestly, on this show, I do think there is a little bit of it on Drag Race, but on this show, I don't think there's if any, very little importance placed on track record. I think it really is. What good are you making? Good television, and are you bringing the looks?
Well, yeah, because if you look at the first episode, Frankie went home, and she wasn't in the bottom.
No,
she. If anything, they picked her because. I forgot why, but Loris picked her because she couldn't pick herself. That's what she said.
Yeah.
And so, but Frankie was kind of boring and didn't really do much. She went home. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she's just not great television.
Yeah.
And that's a big factor for most of the time. And I think that's why Disasterina went home. I think, a lot of these early queens who went home, I think it's because they're not good television.
Yeah. I mean, La Zavaleta went home because she was.
Well, that's going to my big takeaway, as we're seeing with Jade
Jolie.
Jolie.
Went home because she's a train wreck.
Yeah, I think with Jade Jolie and Zavaleta and
Priscilla.
And I'm going to say even with Priscilla and Dahlia, the Boulets needed to clean house. There was, I'm going to say, a disease on the way I'm not agreeing with them, but I think that they saw. There is a stain on our production and we need to clean house. And what I will say, and I said this last week, and I'm going to even be more full-throated about this. I think, and there's actually a quote that I saw on Reddit that they gave in an interview or on their podcast, or a quote they said on their podcast. But I think they were giving these girls grace when they eliminated them so that, they were like, because again, like I said, they didn't know how the edit was going to play out once they got into the room. So they were like, we will just disqualify them as if they were just the normal course of the show and we'll exterminate them. And then when we get into the editing room, we'll see how that story shapes out. But on their podcast someone posted this quote on Reddit. I don't know where it is, but it's from the Boulet Brothers, where they talked about, right, one of the early ones. I'll go there right now and read it. So this is from the Boulet Brothers podcast. And the quote starts here. They say, that is when you see the worst in people. They're talking about when you exterminate them. When we tell people that they've been eliminated, that is when the worst, most reprehensible behavior is displayed from the cast. And I see sides of these people that I don't like. And it happens often. In fairness, though, some people show that and that's where it ends. But a lot of people will come back from that. Then somebody says they do, but they say stuff that I don't forget, it's hurtful. And so I think, I'm not saying that these people said horrible things or whatever, but I think, Jade and Zavaleta did something separately. Because so what Lori asked me privately, what did Jade do? We don't know. The Boulets released a podcast. They didn't say much. All they said was that it wasn't their story to tell, but that out of respect for Jade, they weren't going to really say it, but that it was it was definitely violated the rules, and it was possibly illegal. And I think one of them says definitely illegal, right? But we don't know what it was. And they do say it wasn't the stupid spoiling the Hellbound showdown thing.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah. I look, again, what I'm going to say is pure speculation. Total speculation. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. But I think they had some sort of I don't know what you call it, but substance problem in the cast, and they needed to neutralize it. This is my guess. I don't know.
Well, that's sad, but I mean, I definitely, I can see how you get there, and that seems like one of the more logical conclusions. I was thinking it was like, she tried to assassinate the president or something. So.
No. Dahlia made an Instagram post where she sort of addressed some things. Again, still didn't say much. She just said that she was, according to her, that she was rude to one person one time, and that she apologized immediately after. She just addressed a lot of the things that were said on the show.
I also didn't realize that they tell them they've bbeen eliminated.
Well, it could be in reference to like for instance, we're not going to see. There's some times we've seen where we learn later, and then the survivors show up. Yeah. So in other words, someone had to tell Frankie Doom. Did Loris fall through the trap? Yeah. Someone had to tell Frankie, and someone's going to have to tell whoever lost this week, if it's not both.
Yeah. Oh my God. Could you imagine with Cynthia?
What do you mean I'm eliminated, bitch?
They would, I guarantee you, 100% they're putting on earplugs to let Cynthia know that if she got eliminated.
Yeah. So
yeah, that's not great. I mean, although, I will say, I think when I get bad news, to be honest with you, I don't get angry till later. Most of the time, I'm just sad. So I think I would just be very sad and trying not to cry. Mm-hmm. And then later on, I get very angry. But I usually don't. When I get if I'm let go or, told I didn't get this or whatever, it's not my first is I go to anger a lot in other things. But yeah, if I'm in a competition, I don't make it or, whatever, mm-hmm. I just get really sad. So I could see people being sad, but I didn't even think about them being angry,
Well, they're probably I did all this and you eliminated me, blah, 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 blah. And, this person's doing worse. And anyway. All right. After the double extermination, the monsters arrive on location for the Ghost Town Challenge and discuss the shocking double extermination. JK checks in with Sigourney and confronts Jaharia. Cynthia pulls Blackberry aside and apologizes for behavior in the last few weeks. Sigourney, Abhora, and Eva have a side chat about whether they can trust JK and Jaharia. And ultimately, the season 5 monsters talk about representing their season, and Blackberry reveals that drag saved her family's livelihood. Any big thoughts here, Laurie?
Oh my God, this was such a waste of time. First off, they weren't even doing anything. They were just walking around this campsite. It was if you're going to make them talk for 20 minutes, at least have them do something. Mm-hmm. At least have them feed the donkeys or something. Also, JK kept saying that she doesn't trust anything that's bigger than a large dog. Does she not know Great Danes exist? Great Danes are large dogs. They're bigger than donkeys. So
have you ever seen one in real life?
Great Dane?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, where?
Because I worked at a doggy daycare, and there used to be.
Oh, that's right.
There was this couple that was their thing. They loved Great Danes, so they would adopt. I mean, Great Danes don't live very long.
Yeah, I was gonna say they seem like those animals that don't live very long.
So I would say I worked there maybe off and on for like, I don't know, 5 or 6 years. So I would say they went through like 3 Great Danes. But yeah, they retrofitted their cars. So
oh my gosh.
They could get drive them around. They brought them to date. They were great. I really liked them. They were super nice, and they always, what I thought was sweet was they always got older Great Danes.
Oh, they did.
They fostered like older ones. I think that when I left, they had a new, like a baby one, but it was still pretty big.
Yeah.
But yeah, they usually got like older ones. But yeah, those are huge dogs. I mean, they're sweet, but they're just, but it's funny because they're almost like, they don't recognize their size. So they want to play with like the little puppies, and they're like, and we kept being like, you can't do that. And they would get upset, and it's just like, no, you're going to kill this dog if you play with it. So, they're very sweet animals.
Would you get a Great Dane?
I've thought about it. I don't think so, because it seemed to me, in order to do it proper, I feel like this way about owning a pet in general, but it's a lifestyle change. And I just don't think I want to change my life in that way, because these people, to like truly take care of these animals, they had, like I said, they bought specific cars and retrofitted them so they could transport them. They, they paid money for a daycare. They paid money for, a walker, a certain, they paid money to have, because I guess a big thing with Great Danes is their joints get sore really easily. So they had people, they would give them massages and stuff. So, I think if you really want to like give a dog a good life, it's a lot of money and a lot of work. And it's just not something like, my favorite dog is English Bulldog, and those dogs require a lot of work. Yeah. So I think if I was like an old woman and Star wasn't around for whatever reason,
you got wise,
death or she met somebody better. I'd probably get like an English Bulldog and just, be one of those crazy ladies.
All right, for this week's floor show, the monsters must showcase a Western ghost look and lip sync to the judge's song "I'm Wicked." Yeah,
I'm so sorry. Can I say one more thing?
Yeah, sure.
I went off on a weird dog tangent, so I wasted all that time. But Blackberry said that she never told anybody. I could have sworn that she mentioned that like a bunch of times in her season.
Oh, that she fed her family. But I was wondering, how did she feed them? Where COVID, everything was closed.
Wasn't it online though? If I remember correctly, she did a lot of online stuff.
Oh, is that what happened?
Yeah. Maybe I'm just, I don't know if somebody can write in and tell me if I'm wrong, but I believe, I don't know if it was in the finale. Did she make it to the finale? I don't know if
I think she did, or she went very, very far.
What? But I distinctly feel like I remember her saying that she paid for her family. She I don't know if you necessarily know. She said it was during COVID, but she was like, I support my family through drag.
Oh. All right. In the lab, the makeshift lab, the monsters prepare for this week's floor show in the on-site Western lab. Blackberry talks about her look being her biggest yet. Cynthia reflects on the last lip sync challenge and hopes to outperform herself this time. And Abhora reveals her look will reference her original ghost look from season 2. On the main stage, so we have the looks. Oh, just so you guys know, we already know. I talked about how the looks now are only on whatever it's called. Dress to Kill. So the looks happened. On the main stage, Abhora and Sigourney are named the winners of the challenge. Abhora for her look and Sigourney for her performance, while Cynthia, Doll, and Blackberry are put up for extermination. For this week's extermination, the bottom 2 monsters must survive a coffin full of snakes. In the cauldron, the bottom 2 plead their cases. Cynthia reveals a fear of snakes, but declares that won't hold her back. Blackberry reflects on her wardrobe malfunction during the floor show. And last, the monsters discuss why they believe, who they believe will be exterminated. Most of them say Cynthia, Doll. Let's stop right there. Let's talk about that lab. Anything happened in the lab? Not a lot happened apart on this episode. Really, the big drama is later with the Jade thing. But
Yeah, that was the biggest.
I didn't really have any. I have one note from the cauldron.
Oh, okay. What's the note?
So there's a part where they're sitting there, they're having a discussion, and Eva goes on one of her rants. Okay, thank God she's not here today.
Yeah,
but
I know.
She goes on one of her rants and she's talking, blah, 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 blah. And all of us, I think it's Blackberry and Sigourney, jump out of their seat because they get freaked out because there's a goat behind them, right?
Oh, that's what was behind them.
Yeah, it was a goat. A goat came behind them and for some reason scared them. And they jump and they jump out of their seats. Eva doesn't fucking miss a beat. She doesn't shut the fuck up. No, she doesn't go, what was that? Are you guys okay? Is anything, what's happened? No, she just keeps going. She's like a fucking, like the Energizer bunny, you know? Like if I was talking, even if I was deeply into what I was doing and two people jumped out of their seat and screamed.
Oh yeah.
I would stop talking and be like, is everything okay? Like what's going on? But but Eva didn't.
No, she didn't break her stride.
No,
she was totally in the zone.
She's gonna make her. She expected it to happen. That's the only note I have.
If the Boulet Brothers, if the Boulet Brothers actually listen to this in any way, shape, or form, I beg of them, if Eva does not win this year, if she doesn't win, please, for the love of God, stop bringing her back.
Oh, do you think Eva would even want to come back?
Yes, I think Eva would come back every year until she won. Because I think winning for her is the most important thing.
I feel bad that we don't have a lot of notes for this episode.
No,
but it's a combination of things. I think it's difficult to have notes when they do these on location sites because they're not in their usual environment. They don't feel comfortable. They're not going to fight. But also, it's sort of like the season 6 problem, season 6 of Drag Race, in that fantastic starting show, but as you start to eliminate the more interesting queens, the show gets less interesting. So Abhora, Sigourney, and Eva are our 3 strongest queens currently. And I don't think either one of them this season is good television. Individually, they had remember Abhora and Titans 1? She was Abhora was the drama on that season.
She was No, I think that's why she's more reserved. She doesn't want to be the drama.
Yeah.
I think that I think another reason is the drama that's currently happening, it has no bearing on the show in general.
Yeah.
The drama for this episode is Jaharia playing JK or is she playing Sigourney, Eva, and Abhora? And it's like, who gives a fuck?
Yeah. In the end of the day, you're right. At the end of the day, I'm not going to put notes on that because I think it's the biggest fucking bullshit.
Yes.
Who are they playing and alliances and teaming up and backstabbing? How?
Yeah. Well, that's what I mean, not to repeat myself, but that's what I love is Eva's front and center in this whole thing. And then at one point just turns and goes, whatever, it doesn't matter. All that matters is what the judges think. And it's
exactly.
Why are you so involved?
Yeah. I think they're bored. They're like, well, might have some drama. I don't know. Any other thoughts, Laura?
No, I just, I don't know. I feel bad if this is Blackberry's end. I agree with you. I think that she's the better candidate. I also think it's a little sad, and I don't know how to say this without, I don't know, maybe if this is not the best thing to say, but I thought it was a little sad that JK and Jaharia both threw Blackberry under the bus. And they were like, "Oh, Cynthia, you had the better outfit. You're gonna move forward."
Was there black?
Yeah, I thought. Well, they had that whole thing. What was it? Last episode, the previous episode, where they're like, we really want to make it so we have an all people of color finale." And I was like, "Oh, that'd be awesome." And then as the second that they get to defend her, they're like, "No, you sucked. Cynthia should move on." I don't know.
That is an interesting point. I didn't think about that. All right. The extermination challenge where they go in the coffin full of the snakes. Your thoughts here?
To be honest with you, I wasn't because a friend of mine used to have a pet snake and I would play with it a lot. And the snakes are fun. Mm-hmm. They're fun creatures. the only time I got nervous was when they put that big one in, because snakes, the way they like to play, even when they're playing, they like to constrict. They'll like wrap themselves around you and squeeze. That's what they do, you know? And so my whole fear was that they were going to get around like somebody's neck and just start squeezing. Because once they get around your neck, it's hard to pull them off. So I was like, they're playing with fire here. But I'm sure that there were people like literally hovering over them, waiting for it to be over, you know, over with. I also think it's funny that, you know, they still act like this extermination challenge has any bearing on who gets eliminated. Like my mom, Blackberry goes, I just kept hearing my mom say, just keep going on, or whatever, you know, she said. And it's just like, you could get up right now. It doesn't matter. Like, they're not going to, they've decided long ago who they're going to eliminate.
Yeah. The fate is already decided.
Yeah.
I hate snakes, but still, what's funny, the way they did this, I wouldn't do this challenge. I would still freak out. I would still be like, nope, I'm out. Right. But I was like, it's not that big of a deal what they're doing. I mean, I would still be grossed out, but I think I'd still be able to do it if I knew what it was going to be exactly. So with that said, I mean, it doesn't really matter. They both survived it. Cynthia had some hilarious quotes. She made a Loris reference, but they didn't play that to the very end of the episode after the credits.
Oh, really?
She said something like, not today. Like, she did that speech, which was really funny. And she said some other funny things. Okay, Hellbound Showdown. Now, before the showdown, we learned that Jade Jolie has been disqualified from the competition. They don't give any elaboration. This leaves Priscilla Chambers and Disasterina to face off for a chance to re-enter the competition, and Priscilla Chambers comes out victorious, and Disasterina is sent back to hell. Before we get into the final thoughts, did you have any thoughts on this Hellbound Showdown?
I mean, I think from the get-go, it seemed like Priscilla was going to win. Yeah. I just don't feel like Disasterina was in it, and I think she even admitted to it. Like, she was just like, she just kind of was like, yeah, you know, I tried what I tried and it didn't work out. But I do feel like she had like one of the best responses to not moving forward, you know?
What'd she do?
She was just like, hey, this, you know, I tried my best. I did what I could. And so I win even when I lose. And I think that's a good attitude to have.
She seemed defeated. She didn't know the words. She was jumping over the fire randomly. Yeah. I don't know what's going on there, but
it made me want to like support her and be like, oh, I actually like her. Like, I hope she has a good life. I hope that she's happy where she's at. And, you know, yeah. So, I mean, I'm sad that we didn't get season 2 Disasterina in a way, because I was hoping for that.
I think the nature of the show has changed in such that she doesn't like to leave character, and it was forcing her to leave character. I don't think she felt comfortable on the show the way it was, but that's my guess.
I will be honest. I'm glad Priscilla won. I mean, I think that she'll continue winning. I don't know, but my hope is that she comes back on the show.
Well, let's say Blackberry is the one that goes home. I don't see a world where Blackberry sends Priscilla home.
I could see it. I think Blackberry is a good performer, you know, at times when she wants to turn it on.
Yeah.
So I could see her, you know, wowing the judges. Again, they like her, you know, so.
All right. Any final thoughts on the episode, Laura?
No, I mean, I'm interested to see who gets disqualified next episode. It seems like that's a pattern. But yeah, other than that, no.
All right. Well, why don't we call it a day there? That's going to do it for this week's episode of Hello Uglies. Be sure to join us next week and every week as we continue to discuss, dissect, and deconstruct each brand new episode of Dragula Titans Season 2. So for Laurian K. Roggenkamp and myself,
the big one ate the small one.
Thanks for creeping it real with us here on Hello Uglies. Got a bone to pick or praise to raise from the dead? Email us at hellouglies@afterthought.media. Want your voice to haunt our next episode? Leave us a scream at speakpipe.com/afterthoughtmedia. If you want to keep our crypt open and the blood flowing, Support us on Patreon at patreon.com/afterthoughtmedia. This episode was brewed and stitched together by Dennis Escalero. A monstrously huge thank you to our expensive tier ghouls over on Patreon. You keep our coffins company. Hello Uglies is an Afterthought Media production. Until next time, stay spooky, stay sickening, and remember, beauty is only skin deep, but ugly is to the bone.